or nobody formally told me you can't do that. That was essentially his argument, right?
What a case.
And he went and got independent representation for that. The CFLPA did not represent him in his appeal, which is pretty unusual for a guy to go outside the union and make that argument. So, look, I know the league office was not happy that he appealed, and maybe the fact that there's a new commissioner made this more possible. I think there was also a more contrite version of Sean Lemon in this case, taking counseling, accepting counseling, not talking about the arguments that he made, a year ago. But he lives in Montreal year-round. From my understanding, the Alouettes lobbied on his behalf in the background here. And they do have a degree of interest. I'm kind of surprised they haven't signed him, or we got a little while before we get to kickoff, because here's the other element of the story. He has a 2-game suspension for testing positive for a banned substance. So once he does
no one told him that was illegal. No, to be fair to Sean, he wasn't aware that he couldn't do that.
Anyway, if they sign him in about the next hour, I think they can work off one of his 2-game suspensions tonight.
Right.
But he'll be on the practice roster a few weeks anyway. But look, I think it comes down to precedent, right? If you look at other leagues, he didn't bet against his team. He bet on his team. It was, I think, one parlay ticket where he played like a Hamilton Tiger Cat money line and a Calgary Stampeder +6 for like $100 Canadian on an offshore. So it wasn't like he wasn't throwing games. He didn't have 10 grand on the game. You still can't do it.
Right.
But, ultimately, the league didn't decide it was worth, a lifetime ban.
Okay. And listen, this is sticky. Like, the integrity of the sports stuff is sticky because everyone's in bed with gambling. Gambling's legal now, at least in the province of Ontario. And I think we all know it's going to be a ripple effect throughout the country at some point, and it certainly is down in the States. So it's a very different world than it used to be. Yet I think, if anything, more than ever, you probably have to be that much more diligent, right, Dave? Because, now, people that aren't gambling are really looking at this, wondering, what's going on in the sports world? What's right? It's a different complexion today than it was 10 years ago.
Well, absolutely. And to that point about diligence, and listen, this is a real mystery around the CFL. I've had people from teams call me and say, do you know how they caught him? And I mean, not to tell me, but to ask me. Because here's the thing. Sean Lemon placed that bet with an offshore,
right? Not
with a licensed book.
Right.
Right? So you would think, okay, if I find a book somewhere in Asia and place a parlay ticket or Europe, and because I believe the currency that he bet in was euros. So it would have been in Europe somewhere. He bet one parlay ticket on a Tie-Cat and a stamp game, and the league found it. That's what's incredible to me, is that the league found that. And
you got to bet in crypto now. You got to hide it in crypto, Dave.
Well, somebody from a team called me and said, do you know how they did it? Because I want to know, because I want to scare our young players by telling them.
Right.
Hey, don't try this, because never mind, betting on FanDuel or one of the partners or one of the well-known licensed books. But even if you go to Europe on an unlicensed book, obviously they can find it. I have no idea how they did it, but I think that tells you there is a level of diligence that the league was able to find that.
Big time. Yeah, that is very interesting. And yet, Sean Lemon, he's on his way back. He's got to serve one more other suspension. That'll get out of the way.
102 career sacks, man. That's and the last time he was on the field for the first 4 weeks of last season during the appeal, he had a presence. He was getting to the quarterback. So I expect he will be an Alouette very soon.
Okay. Yeah, pass rushing, man. Yeah, everyone's got to have it. You got to have it. All right, Dave. Great catching up with you, man. Appreciate you doing this.
Hey, awesome, guys. Take care. See ya.
There's Dave Naylor, our CFL insider. CFL on TSN continuing tonight, Week 7, Argos, Alouettes. And I love that defense. Hey, no one technically told me I can't do that.
Come on. Yeah, was that wrong?
Yeah, was I not supposed to do that?
I have to plead ignorance on this.
I have to. I mean, sorry, no one said it directly to me that I'm not allowed to do that. What a case.
Has you heard of Pete Rose?
Yeah.
Has he ever heard of Pete Rose?
Maybe he hasn't.
At some point, it feels not very real, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
I guess so. But if you're going offshore and betting in euros, don't you kind of know you're not supposed to do it?
Well, that's
or else you would just do it on FanDuel.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You go down, you're playing. If you're on FanDuel, you're going down to play a Pro Line ticket or something like that. That's
you're
different.
calling Klaus in Germany saying throw
Right.
5 hunch on the Argos tonight.
Yes, exactly.
But it's like, do you go to? I shouldn't go to a Coldplay concert and be cuddling my mistress during whatever fix.
No one
you
told
song.
him he wasn't supposed to do that, Stroh.
Is that not okay? Is that not all right to do
Evidently
that?
it's not.
Imagine the conversations they would have been having. Like, fix you. They're going to play fix you, and I'm going to have my arms wrapped around you, and it's
true
going to
of
be
them.
great.
That's our song. That's our song.
That's our song. That's the affair song. Everyone knows that. You're having an affair. That's the song that everyone loves.
Oh, could you imagine
just-
that feeling
Oh,
in your stomach when that camera flashes on you? And
The
you
second it
recognize-
went on, you could see him just squirm.
Yeah.
Like the
You're-
Coldplay guy, he just starts squirming. And now it's just blown up. Like the guy's backstory, the woman's backstory, what's going on with it too. I guess they had another colleague that was right beside them, and she was kind of laughing and
She was
squeamish.
the HR disciple, apparently.
Well, she knew
Like,
what was
she's-
going on, clearly.
Yeah. The one of the best things I saw on Twitter among all the great tweets is, well, who holds HR accountable now? Well, HR is holding everyone accountable.
Well, that could you? That's the best part. Like, someone in that business, like, got a slap on the wrist for doing something they weren't supposed to do, and the HR woman came down and said, like, "What do you think you're doing?" And now that guy's like, "Are you kidding me? You're with the CEO at the Coldplay concert. Like, what are you yelling at me for? I'm just trying to get by here." And this is like the whole company. I can't even imagine what work. Imagine the group chats last night. Worked at that company, and the CEO and the head of HR were hooking up at the Coldplay concert.
Yeah, and they're out of sync. They're swaying out of sync to the music. Now, if we show that one more time, is that Mitch Marner who pops up in the background with the glasses on?
It might be.
It's his doppelganger. You can see. So here they are. Oh boy, I'm in trouble. Then this guy's got his hands up in there. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Mitchell Marner.
There's Mitch.
No, this is it right here. This is him.
Right there, 93 for the Golden Knights.
He's fired up. Look at him.
That is Mitch.
I think it is him.
I think
jacked
he's in
up.
Boston. I think you're right. That could be Marner. He might be up there in that CEO suite. Who knows what he's
There
doing.
he is.
That does look like Mitch. He looks
That's
comfortable.
wild.
He looks like he's happy.
He's everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't get away from Mitch Marner right now. Yeah, the Coldplay crew. That's a tough one, man.
Dude,
a tough one.
that thing is everywhere. I also saw another one that was great. It was, on LinkedIn, it has that banner that says open to work or open for work.
Mm-hmm.
It had the picture of them two hugging, and it says open for work.
Open for work. Yeah. And just the way they weaseled out of bringing their significant others to the concert is another. But I just need to see. I want to hear that because it was the guy had to say something like, "Oh, it's just for work. We only got enough tickets to bring some of the crew, and I wish I could bring you." And meanwhile, these two have a big plan for when "Fix You" is being played, and
Great song.